Cause it's kind of, it was nice, but it's like overcast, so it's chilly. My arm, y'all. I gotta stop being up on this elbow. Yeah. Hey, I really think, Miss Sylvia, you might be kin to somebody I know. I really do believe that in my heart. It's only one other person I've ever seen with that last name. Hmm. So, good evening, Ooh, and I just put some Queen stuff on there, so it'll be kicking. Well, actually, it feels better already, but I know what it is. I need to start doing some exercises with this arm because it's muscle for me being on my elbow all the time, looking at my iPad and stuff. There. Hey, what's going on, nephew? Oh. Your stuff will be there tomorrow, young lady. Sorry, I've been slacking. I just sent it out today, but it'll be there tomorrow, Miss T. I didn't forget about you, I promise. Hey, hey. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, DTT. Baby girl will go out and refresh. That's the only thing I can say. I don't want to keep seeing that. If it's running slow, you want to have to do that on your thing. Because I know normally it'd be some issues. You'd be saying stuff is glitching. Just go out and come back in. That's the easiest thing. Get. Love you. Okay. So, um, the list. Oh, Auntie. I gotta wait till she come in here. So I got my gifts. Thank you. Ow! I was already looking in here. I hope that don't end up being a paper cut. The Genesis 6 conspiracy. And I done already look. Y'all already know I done already got in it. I was already in it. I said, wait a minute, let me look at this. This is gonna be interesting. And this is why I be feeling a little scatterbrained because as soon as I get into one thing, y'all send me something else. Y'all send me something else as soon as I get into one thing. I be looked over here, then y'all send me something else, and I be looking over there. So, Miss Elizabeth, thank you so much. I appreciate you because I'm definitely gonna delve into that and put it. Queen, yeah, y'all was just talking about what? What was y'all just talking about? I want to know, Queen. I was just talking about you and your green, and then you showed up. And then my auntie saying, I'm trying to wait for her to come in here. Auntie, are you here? Oh yeah, I'm talking about this right here. Ugh, and I know it's from my knee because this whole side of my body, because my knee is messed up, be in pain all the time. And then my auntie got me this, the Angelic Symbols book. So y'all already know where this is about to be on the side of the bed. Oh yeah, I was just talking about that book. Really? So y'all knew about this? I didn't even know about it. See, y'all be putting me on. Y'all be putting me on. Y'all be putting me on. Thank you, Auntie. And thank you, Miss Elizabeth. Okay, how secret societies and the descendants of giants plan to enslave mankind. Oh, okay. Well, cool, because somebody thought enough of me. And then when I tell y'all keep me riding. Now, this I was not expecting. I thought I just said this yesterday and it was here today. Or maybe it was the day before that. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. Because it's the movies I want to watch and I will be putting them on here. What I tell y'all, we need one of these. Don't get rid of your DVDs because if they hit the internet and the TV, what you gonna watch? this can be charged by your solar power thing. And if you got DVDs, you can still watch TV. Thank you, Auntie. I was gonna get one. I said, now what could this be? Rip the paper. I said, wow, that was fast. That was fast. That's what I said. Didn't I just say yesterday? It was here today. It was either yesterday or the day before. It's already here. This. Listen. Thank you, Auntie. I said that was fast. You hear me? It didn't take no time for this to get here. And guess what? It's gonna go in my listen. Parents, if you still got all your DVDs and they hit the internet, we're under siege. We're at war. So the internet and all that, it's not gonna be working. You're gonna have things to entertain those kids. I'm telling you. And if you have to get one per kid, so everybody got their own or whatever, get them their little portable sun charger. As long as they keep that in there, they can keep it charged. They can watch TV. He be expediting my. It was yesterday that he showed do be expediting my stuff, girl. That's what I said. Listen here, ain't that crazy? I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank you. I told y'all keep me spoiled, but for real, if you got little kids that's used to in pawn shops and Goodwills, they always have DVDs. Dollar Tree might not be what they want, but if it ain't no TV, baby, they'll get real interested in it. So this is just another thing maybe to put up in your survival kit for your damn survival. Because kids to drive you crazy, they ain't got all these devices and stuff to keep them busy. It's a portable DVD player, the same ones we used to have a long time ago. It's a portable DVD player. Oh wow. How old are you? Goddess Monet. Are you under 25? Are you under 25? This just showed me how old I am. So cool. 23. Sounds about right. Yep, they don't even. We all, y'all. They're like, oh my God, what's that? Cool. Yeah, this is how we used to watch movies before you could watch them on your phone and your computer. Oh, you 38? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But for you young folks that don't know, this is how you used to watch movies. And Netflix, you had to go to a box, put some money in, get your stuff. This right here. And this is what saved parents on road trips back in the day because kids didn't have cell phones. Ain't it, parents? Everybody had their own in their lap with their headphones on. Shut up. You got all your movies in your little caddy in front of you. You take that one out, put another one in. I don't know. My auntie bought it. They probably like $49. But you put your DVDs in there. Ain't that crazy? You still got yours, honey. I ain't had one in forever, but because my kids, they older. But parents, if something happened to the TV, that could be a lifesaver for you. If you have children under 10 years old, I suggest you download, burn, or however you can do it, your videos, or go get some. Buy them actually, a few of them of their favorites for right now for the next year or so, just in case. I'm telling you, listen. Cause I mean, honestly, if they cut the TV, what you gonna do? If they cut off the internet and there's only regular TV, how crazy are your kids gonna drive you? If they can't TikTok and do all the apps that they do, if they can't get on their Sony PlayStation or whatever it is, PS4, whatever they have, because the internet is gone, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna keep them occupied if they don't color, they don't try to build nothing, they don't paint? What are you gonna do? And they used to being entertained by a device all day. Don't even mention Roblox. That's a big thing. I keep hearing about that from the younger people in my family. I'm just saying, y'all, we don't think about that stuff until we don't have it. And I'll be trying to think about everything that might go wrong. So I'll be like, okay, probably need one of those. Probably need this. I'm good. Probably need that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just saying, if you got little kids, because you're going to need to think. If they don't let us out the house and you can't even go in your backyard, listen, you're going to need to have something. It don't seem like they'll want it now, but if there's nothing else, they'll sit in front of them old school cartoons and watch them, because that's better than silence. That also gives you and dad, or you and whoever, a time to get together and figure out what your plan is. Anybody been having dreams about the end? My cousin just had one. I think my son had one. I think you're still up to one, love. Anybody? All the time? Like God is warning you? Sorry, y'all, that hot sauce about to do me in. Okay? I hope y'all listening. I hope you all are journaling those things. Okay? Because God is speaking. Okay? He definitely is speaking. You had a zombie dream. Hey, I'm just saying, get ready. Try to make it to where you're not going to have to go outside. If they say we got to stay in, make sure that every person in your family has what they need to stay preoccupied for 6 weeks, a year, whatever. Because we don't think it's going to be a big deal, but it is. You honestly don't want to go outside anymore. I know, me either. I don't care to do it. Only for what I have to, and then I'm back in the house. I've been working on grounding. Okay. Wow. It is scary outside. And it's getting worse, which is horrible. Wow. God is speaking, y'all. And it ain't what you ate before you went to sleep. It's not the TV. And whatever he tells you, you need to write it down. Because it could be for us. For everybody around you, it means something. I hope y'all taking y'all dreams a lot more seriously now. I hope it ain't just, oh, some I ate. No, God to be speaking. And this is filling up a clean bathtub with water when all this happened. Be good. Yes. Yes, nephew. Yep. You're going to need as much fresh water. And as you can see, they're poison in the water now. So those boxes I told you, I showed y'all with the Mylar, the 5-gallon Mylar bags, and then they got the spout, and you can treat the water right now and stack them in the boxes. It's not a bad idea either. 50 to 100 gallons of water already stored, and I think it stays for 20 years or something like that in there. They say it comes with the water treatment and everything. You fill the bag up in your sink, toilet. I mean, not toilet, but tub or whatever. You treat that water, and it has cardboard boxes for you to stack it. Yes, cardboard boxes for you to stack it. I know they was out of stock because people was buying them. You got to think, you buy 10 of those boxes, and what? No, not 10, 20. It's 100 gallons of water that could be stored in your basement or, whatever. 100 gallons of water, if you're not just wasting it, goes a long, long way if you need to cook or boil or. So we don't think about those things because we just got clean running water. You know what I mean? It's just always been here. On Amazon, yeah. We have a disaster preparedness list or survival list in my bio where there's a list of some things, and then I have two videos. One of them is the survival, and then the other is survival 2.0. It has a list of every single thing that you need on there. Thank you so much. This is the thing, y'all. We cannot, and I'm not saying that political, but we can't depend on our government. Y'all see that. They forced people to get a vaccine that wasn't even no good, and now people are even more sick than they were before the COVID. So, if you love your family, do not waste money in this next 6 months. Please go and buy as much dehydrated and freeze dried food as you can. Learn to dehydrate. Start recycling like your lettuce. Don't throw that lettuce thing away. Plant it. You can plant that in the house in a little bitty cute little square thing and be growing lettuce. Get the tops to your strawberries you're using, plant them in the house. You could do that. Plant them in the house. If you got a nice bay window or something, this is what you'll be wanting to do. There's several different books. It just depends on what apocrypha. Different people put different books. Apocrypha just means hidden knowledge. So all of these books, a lot of these books that I read are technically considered hidden knowledge because most of the people don't even know they exist. Or secret knowledge. Yeah. So you might find some other books of the Apocrypha that are not in just the most recognized. It's like the 54 books or 56 books they got. I mean, because even just the extra books that are added to this KJV that I have, it's only what 12 extra books or something. And they say that's the Apocrypha. Well, we know if you go get the actual Apocryphal book, it's more than that. So it's just these are all the lost texts. You just got a dehydrator, you don't know where to start, go get you some potatoes and watch a video online about dehydrating potatoes. Potatoes is always vegetables are always the easiest things to start. Vegetable like onions, go get you some fresh garlic, chop it. You start with small things that you can't really mess up. But go on YouTube and they have all the videos about yes. And for those of you that don't have the money to buy a dehydrator, you can dehydrate in your oven on 200 or 300 on a baking sheet with some Teflon sheets, the dehydrator sheets. So if you don't have the money to buy a dehydrator, go to the Goodwill. Though they always have dehydrators there. They're always, always, always there for the low. But you can dehydrate in your oven as well on 200, like overnight. If it takes 6 hours, just do it while you sleeping on 200. You know what I mean? Set your timer, and you can get up. You can have dried fruits, dried vegetables, all of that. Yep. So if you don't have the money, but definitely y'all go to the Goodwill. Goodwill always got them. You just go 4 weekends in a row, it'll show up. They always got dehydrators. They always have mandolins there, stuff that is going to make it easy for you to prep a lot of food at one time. Definitely go. How many? You will have to go online and look. This is a seeking you shall find place. So if I've given you the information of where to go, I say go to YouTube and look up the videos. And then you'll know. You'll be able to tell me. Mm-hmm. YouTube got all the information. Because that's how I learned. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. When I bought my dehydrators, they came with the books, but I also went online and I went, hey, baby. And I watched 1,000 videos on like people that go hiking and how they do the chili. Because you can make like chili, you just can't add the meat in. That has to be in a separate thing. But you can make your whole chili up, dehydrate it, and make your own chili mix. And then all you're gonna be doing is pouring water in it to reconstitute it. But it's your seasonings, it's your onions, your whatever, everything. You'll just spread it on there. You make it kind of thick, spread it on there, let it dry, break it up, put it in the bag, zip it up, vacuum seal it, whatever you're gonna do. And when the times get hard, you ain't gotta eat nobody else chili mix, and just don't add the meat. You dehydrate your meat separately. You can do tuna casserole. It's several different things you can do this with. Soups and stuff. Because that's all they selling us. Y'all realize that, right? When you go buy a dehydrated like potato soup mix from the store, you could have made that, and for what you're gonna spend for that little bag, You could have made it at home and made 10 of them. If you just make the potato soup and everything yourself and dehydrated it yourself. And you can do that in the oven as well. Yep. So that all the chili mix you be buying, you can make your own. Yep. You can make your own. You don't even got to do all that. Ooh, this feels so nice. Y'all don't even know. Ooh. I think it's biblical prophecy. Why y'all be asking me about the Euphrates and stuff and y'all already know it's scripture? We already know it. We talked about it last year when it started drying up and when the water came up in the Arabian desert. The water left the Euphrates and came up in the place where it ain't been no water for over 500, 1,000 years. Probably longer than that. No, that don't sound crazy at all. It's dehydrated milk, butter, and eggs. We got all of those in the Circle Trova community. We got dehydrated milk, dehydrated eggs, and dehydrated butter. Deep, 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 deep. That's why I said y'all need to go watch that survival video. Both of them. This is not all, but these are some of the things that are on our survival list. A lot of these things you can buy with food stamps on Amazon. Did y'all hear that? You can buy a lot of this with food stamps on Amazon. Again, you can buy seeds with food stamps. As a matter of fact, they said that there is some system, hydroponics thing that you can buy with food stamps too, because it's vegetables. Whole powdered eggs. Now, you can go buy eggs, put them in your dehydrator, and do it yourself. Or you can buy them at the stores already powdered. Please don't buy scrambled because you can't make bread with scrambled eggs. You can't make cornbread with scrambled eggs. So you wanna make sure you're not buying the scrambled. You want the whole eggs. Powdered milk. Dehydrated cheese, boy. I gotta get on my wax and my cheese thing too. I'm doing that this week. Between this week and next week, I'm gonna wax some cheese because I gotta get that in my life. Cause I can't live without no cheese. Lord, I'm gonna need to be able to do what I gotta do. So there's that. And then we got butter powder. Excuse me. So yep, there's that. And then y'all know this ain't all my stuff, but it's some of it. Yes, gotta have cheese. That's why I'm grateful about my wax stuff. I didn't forget. I just haven't had time. But I'm about to give me some cheese, and I'm about to wax me some cheese. I need me a big old stack. I need me a stack, cause listen here, cheese make everything taste better. So let me go on and get my cheddars and stuff together. Yeah, I'm about to bust this cheese real quick. I'm about to wax all. I need a good 20 pounds. 20 to 30 pounds. So hopefully that wax is gonna do it all because I need 20 to 30 pounds of cheese waxed up before all of this pops off. I'm serious. And y'all know a block of cheese ain't nothing, that's a pound. A block of whatever, that's 1 pound. I can put that in my whole pot. Listen. Mm. And for a family, how much y'all might need a little bit more. I mean, of course, we're gonna be using things in moderation then, but 30 pounds of cheese go a long way. If you it ain't much seasoning and stuff, and then you can just wax it back up. I'm thinking you need vinegar and wax, and you can keep cheese and end up keeping that wax. They said for 25 years. I only need 3. I think the Lord will be back by that time. So 10 pounds of cheese a year, I'll be doing good. That's what I'm saying. If I open it, only cut that part off, and then re-wax it, I'm thinking I should be able to. I know people be like, this lady is crazy. But guess what? Ain't y'all happy y'all done put on your straight jackets with me? See, the world say we crazy, but every time the news come on, we be like, nah, we saying y'all sleep. Girl, I'm lactose intolerant, and I'm still not about to do without no cheese. You're talking to one. I am a lactose intolerant fool, baby. Let me drink some milk. This stomach about to be 4 times bigger than it should be. But I'm still about to get it. The crazies always make it out, don't we? Y'all got your jackets? Mom told me the relationship she has with the Lord got her through. Gonna get her through it. Oh, Lord. Amen, nephew. Well, you know we gonna be at the compound, so y'all might have to. Don't bring the crazies with you. I mean, I don't want y'all to leave your family or nothing, but I'm just telling you, we know what we gonna do, and we ain't got time for the people that didn't want to store, but they want to take everybody's stuff and take the biggest portion and all of that. No, we not doing none of that. Because that's what always happens. The person that didn't want to store, the person that wanted to spend their money and do whatever they want to do. Did I say Brazil made fun of Jesus? No, but I mean the world is gonna be mocking him shortly, Jace. That's why we gotta get in and be happy that because guess what? Do y'all realize that the Antichrist is about to fool the world? Wow. Over here where you at, they don't really have sugar on the shelves. Didn't I tell you? Sugar, salt, flour, cornmeal, and seasonings, and honey, and peppers is about to be that's about to be the money. I promise you. That's about to be the money, baby. Seasoning, salt, sugar. Y'all ain't watching none of them movies and they might not have had salt or sugar in like 6 months, ain't been no sugar from nowhere and all of this kind of stuff. Yeah. Like the colonial days. Exactly. Okay, so look at this. You get sugar and flour every time you see it now. I'm telling you, that's about to be the money. What Bible movie? What are you talking about? I'm not talking about a Bible movie if you're talking about survival. I'm talking about 2 videos that I have on YouTube that'll show you everything you need to get. Yeah, I heard about it, but I don't care. I mean, I'm sorry, but everybody gotta die. It ain't no distraction. He died. He old as hell. I told y'all, like, I view death differently. And God has always had me like that. So please do not think I am insensitive, but you don't like everybody gotta die. I told y'all I've been preparing my mind to not see my kids no more and not see my grandkids. Y'all think I be joking when I be in here by myself? I'm preparing my mind to not see nobody alive that I know. So I definitely don't be worried about the people I don't. I mean, I'm not saying I don't, but I'm preparing my mind for my children to have to be like, and me. Mm-mm. I'm trying to prepare my mind for these people torturing me because I won't take this mark. Like, my thoughts on death, I know when I go, hopefully I'm going with him, but I'm trying to prepare my mind to see what they've been seeing in Syria and in Israel and Bangladesh and all of these other places where they've been like in Africa where you just see bodies mutilated and chopped up. Like, I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around that. I don't want to go into shock. I'm God. Show me what I need. Help me understand. Help me sit in this house with no sound, not talk to nobody. Because if we can't go outside, because America has been invaded, y'all think I be joking, but no, I'm a soldier. Has to prepare their mind for the worst, and that's what I'm doing. I don't have time to be. I don't even watch the news, y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even be knowing what's going on. I don't pay attention to it. I seen this. Said Jerry Springer died. Somebody else gonna die tomorrow and today. It is what it is. He didn't live his life. He did what he did. Like, it's not my concern. I love y'all, but it's not. All the other stuff that people are getting you chattering about, I don't care. I'm not even gonna. I don't. Like, in 2 months, we going to a cashless society. They didn't stab this man. Cash App. He ain't got no damn enemies in the hood. That's stuff that happened in the hood. So a random person just walked up to one of the richest people on the planet and just stabbed him, and they didn't even rob him. Really? Just like the other people died in the plane crashes. We seen Olivia Pope and that whole scandal. Y'all was not fooling us. We seen it. Oh, girl, Shonda Rhimes told us what's going on. And How to Get Away with Murder. We didn't watch both of the shows. We watched all these seasons several times. Y'all is not fooling us. Is they? Did y'all not watch Scandal? Because I watched it twice or 3 times just to make sure I could understand. Them two shows right there, if that don't tell you what be going on in our government, y'all crazy. I told y'all the easiest way to hide the truth is to put it right in your face, didn't I? If you just think it's entertainment, but I'm telling you the truth. If they do it to the kids, which I think they be doing to us. I don't gotta lie to you if I tell you it's entertainment. It's just entertainment. But I can tell you exactly what's been going on the whole time because you think somebody wrote this script. Y'all, please do not talk about Jerry's. What y'all gonna do? Is y'all going to the funeral? Who going to Jerry Springer funeral? Because I'm trying to figure out why everybody keep talking. I ain't never met him. Have y'all? Why is that relevant right now? Who going to the funeral as to why everybody keep telling me he died? Did y'all get an invite? And I'm not trying to be mean, but clearly I know. And clearly because I won't say nothing, I don't care. Sorry to your family, Jerry, but everybody gotta go. If I die tomorrow, Circa died. Literally. It ain't nothing nobody can do about it, y'all. Everybody about to die. Let's get that clear. Everything, unless God chooses you to be one of the people that see him when he busts these clouds open, say goodbye to everybody here eventually. In just a minute. Everybody seen Legion? No, excuse me. Legend. I Am Legend. Like, I'm not trying to be funny or crass or anything, but I'm telling y'all, prepare yourself. That's why I be saying, like, when y'all family members pass, okay, but y'all not everybody. Every single day we get on here, somebody is gonna die, and people thought I was being, but every day we on here, somebody lose somebody because we all around the world, everybody gonna die, and what I'm gonna do? And I'm not trying to be funny. What can I do? What can I do for Jerry Springer? He dead. He can't even hear us. I don't spend my time worrying about stuff that can't change, y'all. Y'all gonna get to see that. We all getting ready to go. Why y'all think people about to starve to death? People about to not have clean water. I know people dying. I'm trying to help y'all not die so quick. Trying to help y'all kids not be hungry, not be scared, not be cold. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. I'm not up here to entertain y'all. I'm trying to help you get your soul right. So when your body get ready to leave here, it don't have to be super excruciating. And the whole time that you waiting for God to come get you, don't have to be excruciating. You can listen or not. Y'all can think I'm up here trying to get followers. Everybody about to be dead. For real. We was not looking up. Well, if y'all ain't paid attention, if you've been here for a year, 8 months, 6 months, 4 months, when we talk, it be news. We was just studying different elements, primordial elements. And I said, y'all, something about to happen. I don't know what it is, but something is about to happen, and it's nuclear. Just like I said, y'all know y'all don't believe me. Please go get some powdered eggs and then egg. They killed all the egg bearing chicken. I said, please get dehydrated vegetables and fruit because it's not about to be no good. And then they start burning up all the vegetables. The crop started failing, and then they burned the largest produce plant in the world down last summer. The cows was laid out in Kansas. The fish were belly up in damn near every river in the country around the world. Birds dropping dead out of the sky. Plus, supernatural activity has been increasing. Come on. Everybody else can prophesy houses and cars to you. I'm not. I'm prophesying the end is near and you need to prepare. You want a prophecy? That's what I got. Auntie, I don't know how you did that fast, Auntie, but you got everybody in amazement. Because didn't I just talk about this yesterday? How you getting here today? Thank you, Auntie. We've been waiting on you to come in. And you already know you probably didn't set the internet on fire because folks is like, okay, what's the name of that? How much is it? Yeah, I'll be putting that in my cart today. Everybody said that you have this expedited because did we just talk about this yesterday? Thank you, Auntie, and it's here today. Thank you. We've been waiting on you to come in here. I was on TikTok last night. Oh, well, you didn't set it on fire. Everybody got them in. I'm sure everybody didn't went because the numbers dropped and went back up. So I'm sure or they probably got them on their half screen or on the other device they in the cart. So just know you didn't started a wave. Thanks. It's a portable DVD player. So if they hit this internet, your kids don't drive you crazy. Go get some DVDs. Even 20 is gonna save your life. They'll watch the same one over and over, but you better have something. Thank you, Auntie. And I got my book. I was just showing them. Where'd I put it? I put it down here somewhere. Mine's in the cart. I already know. Thank you, Auntie. Look, and I was already looking in here too. I said, well, you know what's funny? A lot of these angelic symbols are the tattoos. When I was just flipping through here, a lot of y'all tattoos. Angelic symbols. Angelic symbols. Bet you these are a lot of our necklaces, a lot of the patterns on our clothing. They are business logos. They are all of that. And we just be buying stuff because it's cute. Don't know what the symbol mean, but we like the way it look because it's different. And then wonder why all hell start breaking loose in our life. Well, anytime you mark something, whatever is whoever looking for it gonna find it. So if you mark your house with a demonic symbol and then you start having demonic activity, well, you marked your house so they knew where to look. If you write my name on something, it's mine. Or at least I have the ability to touch it and come in there and be with it. Right? You write your name on your kid's backpack, don't you? Don't you? On the inside of their drawers for Jim. Why? Because if somebody go looking for it, they gonna know it's your baby's. Well, if you put demonic symbols up in your house, then the demons that come looking for where their name is written, they gonna be there. Ain't that how you write a spell too? Write somebody's name down with their property. Exactly. They got a right to be there. Excuse me. So if you just getting symbols and bringing stuff in your house and oh, this cute, I'm about to, and then your kids start being scared to go in that room, who you let in? How do you know somebody's with the Illuminati right now? There's two symbols that you will see, and they will silently tell you who they are a part of. What are the symbols? Is this one of them? I can tell you a lot without saying anything. I do like that. So if everybody in the room know what that means, but I don't. Simple symbols and signs. We used to know a crossbones, the skull with the crossbones mean whatever that is dangerous. Who was blown away to know that that witch symbol is on all the hospitals? Y'all be thinking sucker crazy until you see it for yourself. She's just over. She's just too much for me. Until you driving down the street and see it. So when I said the people in the hospitals is witches and warlocks, and if they need to get organs, they just get into the medical field because then they can tell you your stuff is sick if they need it for their spell. And now that y'all know that the charm symbol is on every hospital, now you know why. I asked y'all when we first started this, why do they always want your organs and your bodily fluids? And they take vials and vials and vials of it, but they only need, they can replicate it if they need to. But they take 10 vials of blood from you. My mama worked in a lab. I know they don't need that much. They dropping it on a petri dish. Where the rest of it going? Where the rest of it going? When they do your biopsy, they take a chunk like this, but they only send in microscopic pieces to the specialist. So where the rest of it go? Down somebody's throat in their spell so that they can make more money and become an even richer doctor or lawyer or whatever. And the doctors and lawyers, we already know they be in on it together. Chiropractors, all of these people be working together. I'm not saying all of them are, but the ones that are in the occult know how to get the organs, blood, and brain matter and whatever else that they need. They know exactly how to get it, and you won't question it because there's a doctor. But the whole word pharmakia or pharmakia means incantations, spells, witchcraft, more spells, poison, witches use poison, and yeah, the other witchcraft, poison, incantations, and something else I can't think. Wow. And it's so funny that you don't get real sick until after they get your tissues. After they take, I'm just about to show y'all. And those of you that have read the book, y'all already know where I'm going with this. Ooh, that hot sauce is tearing my stomach up. Ooh, excuse me. I need to clean this office, y'all. It's so much stuff out of place in here. Y'all want a little chapter story? What Gnostic text? It's so. That's all I do is talk about Gnostic text. What specific Gnostic text are you talking about? And can I ask y'all a question? Why, when I'm talking about something else, do y'all interrupt my class for me to talk about what you want to hear? I think it's rude. I get it, but I think it's rude because I'm not talking about that right now. I'm on something else. Yeah, I'm teaching, whether you think so or not, sir or ma'am. It's okay. And I don't mean to be rude, y'all, but if I'm already talking about something, Skunky came to set the captives free. Here we go. This is good, good. From the first moment she crossed through a doorway into that building, she sensed that there was something different about the place, a hovering of darkness, as it were. Something she could not define but knew was there. She knew also that it was something that she had never experienced before. Rebecca is a doctor. She was just entering Memorial Hospital for the first time to begin her training in internal medicine. She had finished medical school the previous month and had now moved away from home, really for the first time in the 30 years of her life. Oh, excuse me. She had no idea that the tragedies she would see in that hospital would forever change both her and the course of her life. The brooding darkness she sensed in her spirit seemed to be watchfully waiting and waiting. Suddenly, it would strike, plunging Rebecca into a series of events that would test to the utmost her commitment to her Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The first test was to come when Rebecca had been working as a doctor at the hospital for about 2 months. One night, while she was working in the emergency room, a man in his 30s was brought in about 2 a.m. Rebecca recoiled in horror as she viewed his mangled and torn body. She had 6 years of experience working in the emergency rooms in larger inner city hospitals as a registered nurse prior to becoming a doctor. But she had never seen anything like this. As she worked rapidly with the other personnel in ER to save this young pastor's life, her mind raced. How could this be? Who would do such a thing? He had obviously been tortured. His body was partially skinned. He had multiple burns, stab wounds, lashes from whips, and most horrifying of all, holes in the palms of his hands from spikes being driven through them. He was unconscious and in deep shock. After the initial medical care was done, the patient stabilized and then transferred to the intensive care unit. Rebecca looked for the police officers who had brought him in. They had little to say other than the fact that he was a kidnapping case. They had found the body and at first thought he was dead. They refused to talk about the incident any further and left quickly, mumbling something about having to file their report. Everyone else in the ER went on with their work as if nothing unusual had happened. No one seemed particularly surprised or upset about the condition of the patient. Again, Rebecca felt overwhelmingly that brooding darkness. She was greatly puzzled and concerned, but was herself quickly caught up in the pressure of the work at hand. Nothing in her background could possibly have prepared her for the shock of that young pastor's testimony of what had happened to him prior to coming into the emergency room that night. She did not know that the next blow, I'm sorry, she did not know that the next blow would come to one of her own patients who was very dear to her. But first, let us trace the training the Lord gave Rebecca to prepare her for what has happened. So we go through that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm going to just skip over this part. Is y'all getting this? Y'all getting this? Listen now. Okay, so during Rebecca's first few months at Memorial, God taught her a very valuable lesson in total dependence on Him in her medical work. Late one night, a patient was admitted to the coronary care unit with severe chest pain, high blood pressure, and a possible heart attack. It was Rebecca's responsibility to examine the patient and care for him that night. He gave her a list of the medications that he was taking, and among them was a particularly good one to use for lowering blood pressure while simultaneously taking the workload off the heart. He adamantly stated that he was taking a particular dose, and Rebecca accepted his word. She elected to give him that dose in an effort to lower his blood pressure and to relieve the workload on his heart in hopes of preventing a heart attack. What she did not know was that the dosage is very dangerous to give unless she had herself gradually worked the patient up to that amount. 1 hour later, the nurses called her and told her that the man's blood pressure had dropped very low and that he was in shock and looked as if he were dying. Pure terror and dismay overwhelmed her. She called her superior and told him about the situation, and he asked what? And asked, this is not what I want to read. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. This ain't it. Okay, here we go. Here we at. We right here. I'm sorry, y'all. This is what I was looking for. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Bob was the pastor of a small Christian church in that city. He had become involved in ministering to some people who worship Satan. He told Rebecca that there was a very large satanic community in a town close by, and that Satanism was rampant in that state. I want y'all to know this state is Indiana. Moving on. He had, at the Lord's leading, been steadily bringing a number of these people to Jesus. They had turned from serving Satan and made Jesus Christ their Lord and Savior. He also helped them cast out the demons that they had asked to dwell in them to gain powers of witchcraft. I'm going to read that again. He also helped them to cast out the ancestors that they had asked to dwell in them to gain powers of witchcraft. The night Rebecca first saw him, he had been kidnapped by the Satanists and taken to one of their meetings. He was taken up on stage in front of the group and tortured. They were in the process of nailing him to the cross when one of the members shouted out that someone had seen something suspicious and called the police. The Satanists had a police scanner radio and monitored all the calls. Bob had passed out while being crucified and knew nothing more until he awoke in a hospital bed. Rebecca was astounded. She had never heard of such a thing. Perhaps this was the explanation of the brooding darkness she could feel in that hospital. The next revelations were quick to follow. As she started into her second rotation in the intensive care unit, her uneasiness continued to grow. Each night she was on call, she had the responsibility for all of the patients in the critical care units. She began noticing uh, as she was prayerfully working with the patients that there were many deaths which to her were unexplainable. There is normally an orderly, traceable sequence of events in the illness or death of any patient. For example, if someone went into shock or blood pressure because he was bleeding somewhere, once the bleeding was stopped by surgery or whatever, and the blood volume he had lost replaced by blood transfusions, the patient's blood pressure should not suddenly drop unless he started bleeding again and or developed some other complications such as an overwhelming infection. However, many of the patients Rebecca worked with would just would just reach a stabilized condition and then suddenly, for no traceable reason, take a turn for the worse. Their heart would suddenly stop beating, or they would stop breathing, or their blood pressure would drop to zero. Many of these died shortly, despite all measures taken medically to save them. And Rebecca followed up on the autopsies and many of these patients and was even more puzzled when no cause for their death was found other than the original problem which brought them to the hospital. Okay, so hold on, we about to get here. Okay. The other problem which greatly concerned her was the frequency of content of what is called in the medical field acute ICU psychosis. Please write this down. Acute ICU psychosis. Please write that down. Acute, ACUTE. ICU. I know somebody that had this and it was crazy. I told y'all the story. Yes. Okay, now listen what that is. When patients undergo a great stress of a critical illness, they are placed in an ICU for a number of days, usually with the lights on 24 hours a day, monitors going, and no window to look out of. Because of this, a certain percentage will become disoriented and start to have hallucinations. That is seeing things that are not real. However, in this hospital, the incidence of ICU psychosis was many more times than anything Rebecca had ever experienced in the several other hospitals she worked in. Both as an RN and as a medical student. Rebecca felt led by the Lord to take the time to talk to many of the patients about just what they were seeing. Much to her surprise, almost all of them told her that they had seen demons in their room. Greatly concerned about all of this, Rebecca started mentioning the incidents of deaths and ICU psychosis in the medical conferences held with all the interns and residents each morning. Nobody else seemed concerned or even to believe her. After her third attempt to discuss the problem, she was called down to the office of the director of the training program and told to shut her mouth on the subject, that she was not experienced enough to know what she was talking about. When Rebecca pointed out that she also had 10 years experience as an RN and in addition to medical school, she was told that if she continued to create trouble, that she would be kicked out of the training program. Her morning prayer sessions took on a new intensity as she earnestly sought a revelation from the Lord as to what was going on. The first break came through one of her own patients. Pearl was an elderly black lady from the southern United States who had been under Rebecca's care for about 6 months. Pearl was a very strong Christian, and Rebecca had come to know her well and love her much. One evening, Pearl came to the hospital very ill, and Rebecca admitted her to the intensive care unit. The next morning, as Rebecca went to the ICU to start making rounds, the nurses told her that Pearl was having an ICU psychosis. Rebecca was somewhat startled because she knew Pearl was a very strong Christian and a lady who had suffered much and didn't panic easy. As she went into Pearl's room, she found her crying, and when she asked her why, Pearl told her that if she did not transfer her out of ICU that day, that the nurse would kill her. Then Pearl told Rebecca about the night shift nurse caring for her and had come in and talked to her. Wait a minute. The night shift nurse caring for her and had come in and talked to her and told her that there was no need for her to fight to stay alive and that she could easily be reincarnated into her next life. The nurse also told Pearl that she would call on a higher power to come and escort Pearl into the next beautiful life. When the nurse laid hands on Pearl and spoke words of a foreign sounding language, Pearl recognized it to be an incantation. Pearl knew from her own heritage about voodoo and black magic and demons, and she declared that she had seen demons in the room. She told Rebecca that she was too weak to fight anymore, and if the same thing would happen tonight, she knew she would die. This book good. I read this at 13, and this is why I ain't trust the doctor since, baby. You're not about to use my babies as lab rats. You're not about to get they, because we ain't done yet. I'm gonna read this little part to you. Enter Elaine. Now that lady was the doctor who was a Christian, and this all happened in Indiana at Ball Memorial Hospital. That's the hospital they talk about. And I told y'all when I married my husband, who is from Indiana, I'm not. He used to deliver at the university up there, the thing. And I was telling him, he was telling me one time when he went delivered at this place, and I'm like, dang, that sounds like this book I read. And then he told me where he was at, and I said, oh my goodness. And this book is called Memorial Hospital, but it's Ball Memorial Hospital, like Ball State. And if you go look up a lot of their like newspaper clippings from around, they be having a lot of weird stuff going on there. And I met a lot of people that are from the two little cities that are up there, and they say, oh yeah, don't nobody take their family to Ball Memorial. They go in there for a checkup and they die. And this was 20 something years after I read this book that I moved to Indiana. Okay, Muncie, you already know where it is. Muncie, Indiana. It goes down. People say, oh yeah, no. Man, no. You take your family member over there for literally a checkup and they die. And that's what they said was happening in this book. And this book was written in like 1989. This is a place where my ex-husband told me when he went to deliver, something pushed him down the stairs. He twisted his ankle too. He said it's real creepy under there. And where you, because he said you got to go down these stairs to go to the kitchen. He said it's real creepy. Here we go. Y'all ready for the rest of it? Here we go. Yeah. He used to deliver up there. This was just like 2 years ago, right before I got divorced. Like 2020, 21, 22, he was delivering there. Well, 2021. So 19, 20, 20, 19, 20, and 21, he was delivering to that place. All right, here we go. Here go the rest of it. So, this is, that lady was Rebecca. She's the nurse and the doctor, whatever, who has a relationship with God. This is Elaine. Here we go. My mother and father's marriage was a very shaky one. My father was a drunkard who believed that he was God's gift to women. He mistreated my mother very badly, and when I was born, he stood at the foot of her bed and told her that he wished I was dead over and over until she finally threw a vase at him. My birth was like any other birth, like hundreds born on the same day all over the world, except I was born deformed. I had no nose, no upper lip, no roof in my mouth. This is what is called a severe hair lip with a cleft palate. My mother wanted to see me right away as soon as I was born, and to her, I was a beautiful baby. Even with the deformities, her first question was, can she be fixed? She was in absolute poverty. She had no money and no way of making any. In those days, the welfare programs were not available as they are today. My mother was not the type to give up just because she was poor. It so happened that in the same hospital there was a nurse called Helen. She assisted at my birth. Helen knew my mother's circumstances and also of my father's attitude of hatred. Helen wasn't just an ordinary nurse. She was also a powerful witch and a member of what has become one of the most powerful but little known cults in our country today. This cult calls themselves the Brotherhood and is a Satan worshiping cult. Helen was at that time what is known within the cult as a contact person. Her contact with my mother was to affect the rest of my entire life as well as the life of Rebecca. That the day following my birth, Helen approached my mother with a proposition. If my mother would give Helen permission to take a very small amount of my blood. Now, are y'all getting this? Because when your baby is born, the first thing they want is they what? First thing they do is stick your baby. After they clean them out, they taking their blood. Blood and poop. And we know those are two things that could be used in spells. Feces. Okay, I hope y'all hearing this. Is y'all with me still? Yep. Here we go. Okay, so it says the day following my birth, Helen approached my mother with the proposition. If my mother would give Helen permission to take a very small amount of my blood, which you're not going to think nothing because she a nurse, she and her friends would provide a way to get finances and the help she needed to obtain the best surgical and medical care for me that was available. My mother could not understand just why Helen would do all this in return for seemingly such a small thing. She could never seem to grasp the meaning of what Helen explained to her. But as there seemed to be no other source of desperately needed help, excuse me, and as Helen repeatedly reassured her that she would not harm me, my mother finally agreed to the proposition. Helen was an attractive young lady who seemed genuinely concerned and sincere in her desire to help both me and my mother. What Helen did not explain to my mother was that my blood was for her a very important sale. The small container of blood taken from me was given to another woman called Grace. Grace was also in the Satanist cult, and she was what is known as a high priestess. The selling of my blood was to give Grace more power, more activity, and a higher position within the cult. Helen too obtained more power through this transaction. The blood was taken by Helen and given to Grace. Grace then drank my blood during a ceremony which gave both Grace and Satan possession of me and opened me up as a home for many demons from that moment on. Newborn baby now. The next day, Grace at Satan's direction sent many specific spirits into me, which would mold and shape my life and personality and future. All of these babies not speaking disorders. And they say, oh, it didn't come until they was 6 months old. It didn't. She was fine at birth, and then at 3 weeks, I started seeing something. You mean because they done sold your baby's blood, and now that witch didn't drink it? Y'all ain't paid attention that when you give your babies ADHD medicine, they always want to take their blood first, and then they always need a stronger medication because they need a stronger demon because that one is not working anymore. They take 6 vials of blood. They only need one. My mama used to spin out blood. They don't need that much. Who went and watched the episode of The Exorcist that I told y'all to go watch, where they was in Chicago and the white folks was putting on a black face and they would go into a big crowd of people, but they already been watching a little black dude. They didn't follow him home from school. They already know his blood type because he gave blood at work, blood at school. So they already know his blood type. They want all his organs, and then they shoot him. They go to the morgue, get his organs, and they take him right up in some high rise in Chicago where the Pope and all the Cardinals is at, and they all sitting in one of them extremely extravagant hotels waiting on the demons to inhabit them so they can get them 2 eyes. And then they made them take it off. I guess they said, y'all talking entirely too much. This is too close to the real thing, and they'll know who we are. No, no more seasons of this. No, it's a show. The show The Exorcist that came out a couple of years ago. In one of the shows, you will see like all these black people standing around. This young boy got shot, but they had already been watching him because they needed his specific blood type and blah 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 for this spell. And they was all waiting on this primordial spirit. They did the incantation. It was the popes up there, the cardinals, and these rich folks. And they was in Chicago. They dropped the guns in the hood because the people that they needed their organs was in that area. So it was all these AKs that just showed up in a box in the alley. But they needed a specific person's blood, and it was an African American person, which is sad. And I told y'all, black people organs and blood and tendons and eyes and hearts go for more on the black market than any person on this planet. That's why so many of us are missing and they don't be looking for us because they know exactly where we at. The old rich white folks got our hearts, our eyes, our ligaments, our tendons, our uteruses, our melanin, everything, so that they can stay healthy and young. Oil of Olay, yeah, they know where a lot of black bodies is. Lancome, a lot of black bodies. That rejuvenation you got, even our bones have melanin in them. Some of our organs are highly concentrated in it. That's what they put in, y'all. They said, oh, we use plant melanin. Lies. It's too many black missing people that never get found. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you watch that episode, it'll blow your head back. Yeah. Dang it. And I think my phone in there. Everything charging circuit. You need to keep your stuff. No, that's my iPhone. I was gonna try to find it for you. I don't know what episode, y'all. Y'all can look. I have no idea. I told you I watched this years ago. Y'all gonna learn to look around here. I gave you the answers. Now you go to Google and find it. Seek and you shall find. I love y'all. I'm gonna bust y'all head every time. I gave you the crumbs. Now you find the bread. Y'all know I love y'all. Hmm. When you see it, you're gonna be like, it's on Prime and Hulu. I love y'all. Y'all know I do. But I put that behind me so when people get mad at me, you read it every day, seeking you shall find. I had to go looking. If I just give you the fish, you ain't never gonna learn. So here we go. Hmm. Y'all know what I'm doing. The Exorcist. Yep. It came out in like what 2013, 14, 15, 16, something like that. They only did 2 seasons. A while back, I talked about the Testament of Solomon. It's in the back of your OTP where the demons' names is all of our medicine. Like Gardasil and Gardasil is the name of the angel that taught men all the death blows like abortion. And then they name our pills that stop life after them, the HPV shot and birth control. You mean like that? This book. The Testament of Solomon in your OTP. If you go look up a lot of these demon names, they are the names of your medicine. And y'all know, for those of you that had to take chemistry, like if you work in a pharmacy, you already know that this RHYX means recipe. And this is the prefix for a lot of our medicine. Most medicine has RHYX in front of it. The chemists, what they get to see. Now, why would RHYX, y'all see that, be in front of all of these demon names? And if you take the HY out, it's RX. And that's funny because you take a pill and then say it might make you bark like a dog, might make you crawl around, you might get to seeing stuff, your throat might get to closing up. This could happen, that could happen. You mean like when you under a spell or an incantation? Because RX is short for recipe. Rix is in the prefix of all of our medicine, and pharmakia or pharmakeia, the root word for pharmacy, means incantation, spell, witchcraft, or poison. Look up the word pharmakeia or the root word for pharmacy. It means spell, incantation, witchcraft, or poison. Then you go when you look up the demons' real names or the names that God gave Solomon, and a lot of that is named after our medicine, but they shortened it, took out the HY, and it's just RX. But as soon as you take one of these medicines, then all of a sudden your life ain't the same no more. You can't sleep. You talking. They say if you feel like committing suicide, if you feel homicidal thoughts, if you feel like jumping off a bridge while you naked, tell us. If you start to receive spots on your tongue and on your booty hole, let us know. Some people that have taken this medicine have had heart attack, stroke, and brain aneurysms while they running through the. and cycling with their bike while you telling me how many people then died and the horrible things that happened to them. You mean like when one demon get in, seven stronger ones come get them? And the Bible said that once the person is under a spell or under the devil's thumb, then they don't think right no more. And their condition is worse off than it was before they ever started taking the demon into their body. The pharmakia, the RX, the recipe, the incantation. Mm, mm, mm. Hell, they give you a drink called Sprite. Sprite mean demon, spirit, fairy. It's one of the best selling drinks on the market. Most of the most expensive things or the most well known things are named after demons or the fallen angels' children. Oreos, all of it. Oreos is named after Oreus, the mythological god who was a child of the angel. Brownies, exactly. Siri, AI, all the cars have all of the mythological god symbols on them. Even our food. We just looked up the Folgers thing yesterday, and it's got the pyramids with the basically all CNI and that same sun that we see on everything else that's even on the back of our dollars. It's on the Folgers thing, and I've been looking at Folgers forever. Why is there pyramids on Folgers? And the sun, God Ra, right there on the top of Folgers. Alexa too, exactly. The Apple symbol, the Koa symbol, the Ascension Hospital symbol, everything. See, it's on everything. Bread, drawers, socks, cars, the rims, the stereos, everything. Sirius radio. We went from Sirius radio to Siri. Both of them are from out somewhere else. Oh. And then if you go look up the bird people in Africa, it said 20 or 30 years before they knew where Sirius B was, they did, because they said, oh, that's where our ancestors come from. And they got bird feet. Right now, still, all of their people is born like this. Well, they don't look like that, but they bird people. Because I'm about to show you the feet on this other one. You just hold on, and then you go look them up, and they feet look just like that. Mm. Hold on, y'all, because it's in the middle. Oh, there we go. Come on. They feet grow like this. This person has like human hands, though. What is this book? The Hindu Bible, basically. I just call it the BG because I don't ever know how to say it right. The Bhagavad Bhavajita, Bhavajita. And then we know for a fact that there are the bird people that were in the Egyptian culture and Persian cultures, and there's still evidence of that right now. So, oh, the people are still alive and their feet still look like that right now. Bird people. Bird people. Hmm. Ectrodactyly. Hmm. It's funny that all of these have that dactyly, like pterodactyl, and then like polydactyly, syndactyly, the one you just said, erdactyly, or however you say that. Yeah, it's crazy. Dactyl. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Ooh. It was like starry soda. Listen, all of it. Sun kissed, the sun god Ra. Okay, I'll definitely look it up. I think I saw it. I think I saw it. I think I did look at it. The thingy bobber. I just didn't have time. I skimmed through because I was looking for a different email. So I'll go back to it this evening. Is that the email you were talking about? Okay. So I guess we're not gonna do the Giants this evening. We've been on here 87 minutes. It don't even seem like it. I'm about to run to the bathroom real quick. You thought Ra was the creator. Mm-mm. I wanted to show y'all something, and I think it's in this book. And I just ran across it today. It's crazy you say that. I mean, you know how your memories come up. Y'all bought me this book last year this time, and I read something, but I don't think I got a chance to share it with y'all. So I'm getting ready to right now if I can find it. Here we go. I need to just go look at the freaking page because I screenshotted it. Where is it at? Excuse me, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking for, because it said that Ra was buried, and they show the date that Amun Ra was buried. So how was he a god if he was buried? They got a date for this dude. this it? I need to go get my phone because it's in my screenshots. And then I'll be able to go exactly to the freaking page. But it shows, I said, wait a minute. Well, if he was a god, how in the world did he have a burial date? I'm going to have to find it and I'll bring it back on here another day then because I can't. It should be right here. I said, hold on. I have to find it and then we'll do a class about it. But yeah, so I'm just wondering how, if somebody was a god, like they said, how he got this good old burial date. What happened? No, he was a person. Let me go get my phone so I can find it in his book and show y'all. Hold on. He was one of the fallen angels. Ah, kids. Okay, sorry, y'all. It wasn't Ra, it was Horus. Okay? How is this? Hold on. It was Horus. It said King Horus Aha, often called Menes, go back, or Menet, however you say that, is a shadowy figure in Egyptian history. He became the first ruler of the unified Egypt in about 3000 BCE. His predecessor, Narmer, An upper Egyptian chieftain may have unified Egypt with decisive military victories, but it was also Horus who assumed the role of a divine king, the living God Horus on earth. Horus was buried at Abydos in Upper Egypt. Horus was a person. So was Ra. Their fathers were angels. This is why the book of Judges and Kings is so important. Horus' other name was Menes, or however you say the Menes. That was his other name. Okay? So these people that are worshiping these gods, they was gods because they wasn't completely human, but they were not the gods. And that's in this book. So I gotta find out where it is. Because I took a picture of it last year this time. It's gotta be in this rulers part because it's talking about, just hold on. Sargon is in here. The sons of Akkad that are listed in the Bible. Here go our homeboy. And this is the Smithsonian. You know they got all the goods. The Smithsonian from the dawn of civilization to present day. This is an amazing, amazing, amazing book. And guess what? The Smithsonian say everything that the Bible say. For those of you that don't believe in the Bible, but you believe in science, if you get this book, you won't be saying that no more. Because the first people in this book that they be talking about is the sons of Akkad that's in the Bible, the Akkadians. Talks about when they lived. Oh, here, Sargon. Here we go, right here. Sargon of Akkad. You see it? The Akkadian dynasty. The sons of Akkad that are in the Bible. Just look up the Smithsonian of Dawn of Civilization, the Smithsonian history. It'll come up. Okay? There goes Sargon right there. So when you read in the Bible about the sons of Akkad in Genesis and all the first of the book, this what they talking about. The sons of Akkad. The sons of Akkad. The sons of Akkad. And we know that the Akkadians were giants. Guess who else is mentioned in here? The Hittites, the Jebusites. They're mentioned in the Smithsonian, y'all. Why? We got Imhotep in here. The Rosetta Stone. Here we go. Upper Egypt. That's what I was looking for. Look. The Kushite rule. The sons of Cush. We ain't done yet. Nefertiti's in here. They just was talking about the Hittite. Ramses, Osiris. The Kassites. Here they go right here. Look. The Hittites, the Kassites, Mycenae, we got that book. The Minoans, remember we studied them? That's where the bulls was. That's where the bull people was. Remember? The cow people that I showed y'all, that's where they lived, in Manoah. Look at that. The Kassites, the Mycenae, the Hittites. Y'all see it? Now tell me African women don't still wear this hairdress right now. Portia just had this on at her wedding. So the Smithsonian, who is a science and history place, tells us that the Hittites, the Akkadians, the sons of Akkad, the Kassites, the Cushites, they telling us when they live, but they'll tell us don't believe in the Bible, but that's literally the names they putting in here. Think I'm lying. Here goes battlefields by map, and this is the Smithsonian still. Smithsonian by battle map. Now, this is supposed to be a kid's book. But let me show you something. The first battle that the Smithsonian records, the clash of the empires. But guess who the empires was? The Hittites, Ramses, the Hittite army. Are y'all seeing this? Hittite Empire, the Egyptian Empire, the Battle of Kadesh. This is all biblical. Giants, exactly. The chariot warfare. We did this. See how little they is compared to that man? And we know that the rulers had bigger, oddly shaped heads because they were giants. He might need something like that. Because the regular head people ain't, their heads ain't shaped like that. Here go the Marathon War. And who was in the Marathon War? The Persians. Why was the Persians in the Greece War? Because that's who they was fighting. Because these was the people that was fighting against the original Greeks. And the original Greeks was the same color as them. The ancient Greeks was darker than me. Ancient Greeks and Romans. See their skin color? See how curly their hair is? See how black their skin is? And this is Homer in the Iliad. Ancient Greek and Roman soldiers, ain't they skin about the same color? That primordial skin tone. No? How about that? They tell you, oh, don't believe the Bible, don't believe this, but they sure is putting it out there. The very same thing that the Bible say. That's why I told y'all the battles, the people that the Jews was fighting was important. And the Smithsonian says so too. In school, they just want to pretend that it was art. No, that was their real skin tone. Because if you look at even some of the Egyptian god that has the like lion face, the lioness face, the skin tone on her statue is that exact color. Excuse me. So when you go and you read in the Bible, it is ancient history. The Smithsonian be telling themselves trying to hide the truth. You mean like the Catholic Church? Because they own the Smithsonian. And the popes pray to a black Mary and Jesus, but they put a white Jesus out here for everybody else to pray to. They own the Smithsonian. So of course they're gonna whitewash all of the ancients because they whitewashed Jesus. While in secret, knowing the truth and praying to the black Jesus and Black Mary. Y'all done seen the pictures of it. They don't hide it now. So the Pope prays to a black Jesus and a black Mary. They own the Smithsonian, and the Smithsonian be putting it out there, but you just gotta know where to look for it because they're not gonna put it in the museums, but they will put it in their books. Gotta go looking. Putin just showed the Black Christ. I've been trying to tell y'all. I told y'all last year. I don't gotta lie to you if I put it in your face. I can tell you the truth, but you won't believe it anyway. The magicians, the order. Y'all don't see how the magicians and the order was at an elite college like Yale or Harvard, where they have the secret societies. And most of the archaeologists and people that would study this type of stuff, sociologists and whatnot, that's where they come from. When they go on their archaeological digs and find all of these things. They know what they're doing because those are the people that become the presidents and the leaders of our modern world. And they do incantations the same way that the rulers back then to get magical powers. That hasn't went away. Bankers, exactly. Keeping all the info for themselves to inherit the power. Exactly. Because if I tell you the truth, but I tell you the truth is make believe, then I didn't really lie to you because I'm still telling you what it is. So when we read in Enoch, when it says that the fallen angels taught magical medicine, that was the first thing they taught. Then they taught the incantations, they taught roots, they taught about plants, they gave birth, and then the angels taught their sons how to, and the men, to extract metal from the rock. Okay? Right in front of your face. I don't have to hide it if I tell you the truth and tell you, oh, it's a movie. But I'm telling you really what be going on. Okay? Oh, them beans got my stomach swole all the way up. This is ridiculous. So, there's that. Now y'all got some looking to do. Now y'all see why I said all these ites is so important. The Amalekites, the Jebusites, the Aviums, all of them, all of these races of giants right there, this is why they're so important right here. The Girgashites, Gittites, Hittites, Hivites, Horims, Perizzites, Jebusites, Cadmonites, Kenites, Kenizzites, Machalites, Manassites, Nephilim, the Perizzites, the Philistines, the Rephaim, the Sidonians, the Zamzumians, the Zebusites, and the Zumzims. All of these were races of giants, and all of these were the people that Israel was having to fight against. And then you got to think they were marrying each other. So then that was another race of giants. So if one giant family married his daughter off to another giant family, that's a different race of giants now. Because they're a mix of these giants and those. Some of them had one eye. Some of them had multiple arms. Some of them had multiple rows of teeth. Some of them had super abilities. Some of them. Because the angels went also into the birds of the air. So then I could have a human brother and a fish brother. Job and Nereus. I could have a fish brother, a bird brother, and a reptile brother. Because if my daddy went into a bird, harpy, a lizard, dinosaur type person, a lion, and then a mammal, a fish, I got a Nereid daughter or son, a mer person son, a bird son or daughter, a reptile son or daughter, and then I might be a daddy of a pen or something. Don't believe it? Go to Jasher. It said that they started mixing all of the species. This is why all flesh had to be killed, because all flesh had been corrupted. It didn't say just the animal flesh or just the bird flesh or just the fish flesh or just the human flesh. It said all flesh had been corrupted. And what that meant was bestiality had started. But back in the day, it created monsters. And we know that from the book of the giants that's in the Dead Sea Scrolls, because these monsters and giants went and talked to Enoch before he was translated. And he told them, yeah, y'all all gonna die. Sorry, y'all and y'all daddies. Well, he said it's a flood coming and God going to wipe out most of y'all. I don't know what happened to the water animals. It seems that they're still here because mermaids are still popping up. But it says that there was giants after the flood too. So evidently they knew how to go somewhere because it's giants now. So This is why you need several books to study, even just the King James Version. Because it's not all right there. It's not. Oh, goodness, y'all. It's over. That's why I got on here early, because I was going to take my nap first. And then I said, nope, I won't wake up till 10 o'clock. Or later, 1 o'clock in the morning. Oh, excuse me. And I got indigestion. Heartburn, what is it? Heartburn, indigestion, diarrhea. Whatever. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Thank you so much. So, do I think the Giants are still among us? Did you not see they just killed the man up in Montana, the trucker that posted that, and then he was dead like 2 weeks later? You see what they did to Sauce 90? Upset stomach, diarrhea, something, whatever it is. Yeah, that. Yeah. Just go on TikTok and type in Giants. They killed the trucker dude that was up in Montana, Colorado, something. He was like, "What is that? What is that?" And it was a big, tall man walking just on the top of the mountains. And he had to be massive because this man was way far away. And that thing was up on the top of the peak of the mountain. You know, normally when people at the peak of the mountain, they look this big. He was still massive. And he was just walking. And then they saw that same type of being in Mexico. And it was broad daylight. And he was walking up by the people's houses. And they were scared. Yeah, they killed the trucker dude. He died. I think they tried to say he had a heart attack or something right after he posted that.
All right, familia, you guys have been on my butt, blowing me up nonstop about this video that I posted. Some of you say, oh, it's just a regular person. Some of you have jokes and say, oh, that's my suegra, my mother-in-law, which that's kind of fun. Now, the TikToker himself, along with other people down in my comments, are saying this looks like, and I'm not saying her name, y'all. But I truly believe this is not a human. What it is, I do not know. But for sure, it is not a human being. And I have a few theories. Mind you, these are just my theories.
That thing was massive. And he was just walking on top of the mountain like it wasn't nothing. But if you've ever been to the mountains, like we just left. When we was going up that mountain, Tennessee mountain, a person on top of there would look this big. The trees are massive. This thing look as dang near like. And then the man in what was it? Look.
This man's TikToker Andrew Dawson found deceased after filming Giant on top of mountain.
How do y'all feel? What do y'all think about all this that's been going on out here, man? It's weird shit going on, man. Real weird. Now dude's dead for what he didn't sing. Look, listen to this. Check dude out.
Andrew Dawson filmed what he claimed was a giant on top of a mountain in Jasper National Park in Alberta, Canada.
If you thought that was weird, check this out right here.
Times uploads an update video that is extremely strange, and viewers pointed out that it seemed like it was forced.
Don't get me wrong, I fully believe Buddy saw a giant, and I fully believe that the CIA did jumped to him because from the comments I've read that he's passed away as of July 1st.
This is crazy, bro.
He was told to leave. Then they started sitting outside his house and made a sketchy video. Jasper Park, Jasher, right? Could very well be. That's just like South 90. As soon as the government got on his boat, right after that, he was in a real bad car accident, and dang near could have like died. And if mermaids ain't real, why all of a sudden was the government on his boat? So, yeah, y'all need to look into that stuff. Yep, I love y'all. I'm about to go. Don't forget this. God said that in the last days, the same things that was around before the flood was going to be happening right now, before the end of the world. So we know that it was monsters, dragons, and the like. But right before the flood, as to why they had to be destroyed, then what are we looking for this time? Yes, the days of Noah are right now. We are literally in the last days. As the Antichrist is here, the cashless society is here, the food shortage, everything. It's all here. The man that found the bottom of the ocean got killed in a plane crash. Yeah, they getting rid of folks. Yeah, I am. I'm about to go get in my bed. My stomach is hurting. I know what it is. I ate all that rice and my stomach is swelling up. Yep. I love y'all. Yep. I see y'all. I might get back on later. It just depends if I'm gonna go to sleep. See y'all later.